Welcome to the H series of webinars. This webinar series is aimed at new and aspiring sheep producers to give them a step up into the Queensland sheep industry. This webinar is part 4 of the series and is titled Herding Foundations. It explores the basics of working sheep in an uncontrolled environment and how working dogs can be used to move sheep efficiently and effectively. This webinar was delivered by renowned stock handler and dog trainer Neil McDonald on the 9th of July 2020. This is clip 5 of 8 and covers the transition from bringing stock to droving stock.
Probably this can be a little confusing for people. This is what most people want to be able to do first up. They want to get to the rear of the mob, the side of the mob, and they want to get the dogs and they want to push the sheep somewhere. Well, if these are young sheep, they don't know where they're going. So that's where they can either learn to run or they'll do that circling caper, which causes a fair bit of grief. It would probably be good if I had a dog out the front in this picture leading them, but I haven't got one doing that nowadays because I don't get to do much of this sort of work. But it wouldn't be long, and I could drop another dog out here, and one of these dogs would start going around the front of the mob and actually leading these sheep so that they don't ever get a run up. And that's super important to get the change of attitude in your livestock. Is if you've got a second staff member in that situation, you wouldn't have the two staff members at the back of the mob pushing. You'd have one up the front driving in front or riding or zigzagging depending on the attitude of the livestock, so that you eventually get them so that they all travel like that. More photos of droving a mob, and a couple of alpacas out in front. They are fair weather friends. Sometimes they want to be cooperative and sometimes they don't. They are good at chasing foxes away. So that's just showing you where there's one mob idling, one vehicle idling along, and dogs are in the right spot. That's where all the preliminaries that we talk about. And here's another one, obviously with more infant lambs and a dog minding them. That's a productivity shot. Animal welfare, the lot comes into that. And here you can see, like on the list the other day, we've got to make sure that we're looking after our landscape, our soil, our plant species and our soil type, and having sheep that just walk and don't flatten feed is a real good way to be. John Hedges from Keith, once again with a couple of dogs at the back of the mob. These are older, experienced, we want to call them trained dogs, and he's on the side of the mob and they're carefully bringing along. That's a good shot, but it's not ideal. That wouldn't be an ideal situation to be starting a pup in, because pups naturally want to go to the other side and bring them back, which is the way you need to start a pup and then convert them to this later. Most important. And here's another good shot of Ian Creeper from Pathway with bringing sheep down along a fence line and then getting them to bend around in. Looks like he's got an alpaca out the front too. Another real good shot of ewes and big weanable lambs. And right from this young age, if you work the lambs like this with their mothers, it's going to be less of an ordeal educating them to be free flowers later if this is the way they've been brought up with their mothers right from the start. Another shot of a dog tracking along behind. Once you get organised with your dogs, you need to be able to go ahead of your mob and the dogs bring the sheep to you at the walk, or you need to be at the back or the side and the dog helps you take them forward at the walk. That's the finished result.
Thank you for watching this short clip. For more information, please visit www.leadingsheep.com.au.